In the waning twilight of the kingdom of Nuzantralithia, where crystal towers kissed the clouds and ministries spoke in riddles rather than reason, there emerged a tale so grandiose, so breathtakingly audacious, that it threatened to eclipse all prior epics of administrative illusion. This tale concerned the sovereign once. Yes, the same one of ephemeral chariots and missing scrolls, who, fearing the mediocrity of legacy, sought to etch his name not in the hearts of his people, but into the very soil of an untouched jungle, far removed from the realm's actual rhythms. He envisioned a capital not of necessity, but of nostalgia in advance, a monument to ego, sculpted in concrete and deficit. Declared with divine certainty and the flourish of trumpets, the plan to abandon the ancient city of Jakartalis, the crumbling jewel with its flooding alleys and gasping lungs, was presented not as an act of escape, but as a visionary leap toward modern myth. The new capital, Icarioth Nirvana, was to rise like Atlantis from the swamps of the forgotten frontier, built with wisdom borrowed from foreign financiers and blueprints plagiarized from PowerPoint prophecy. It was, quite literally, a city of tomorrow financed by the debts of today, with the hope that the future would be too polite to ask questions. Yet, as the royal treasurers quietly muttered and fiscal clerks fainted under the weight of compound interest, the enchanted spade struck earth where even the birds refused to nest. Columns were erected to nothing, roads led to mist, and monuments were unveiled before architects had completed their drafts. The forest spirits wept, confused by the desecration conducted in the name of progress, while citizens back in Jakartalis began to suspect they'd been traded for a mirage drawn on napkins during late-night court banquets. Naturally, the grand project, hailed in scrolls and symphonies as the rebirth of the kingdom, soon encountered that most vile of adversaries, reality. With coffers echoing emptily and creditors beginning to send ravens with less friendly letters, the construction slowed to a poetic crawl. The great relocation became the great indecision, and the capital, that ancient anchor of identity, dissolved into philosophical abstraction. One day it was here, the next day elsewhere, and on some days it simply was nowhere at all. Ministers, when pressed, adopted the language of celestial ambiguity. The capital is wherever the heart of the nation beats, they would proclaim, as they sipped imported nectar in Jakartalis and signed decrees supposedly from Icarioth Nirvana. Scholars debated the metaphysics of administration, while the common folk merely asked which city to write on their letters and were told to wait until the clouds settled. The bureaucratic elite, never ones to admit failure, declared the ambiguity to be a strategic vagueness, a revolutionary governance model that would surely bewilder future generations into admiration. Thus, the kingdom of Nuzantralithia, once proud of its clear addresses and postal codes, now floated in administrative limbo, a nation without a navigational anchor. International envoys, arriving for summits, often found themselves circling between cities, awaiting clarification on where to land, only to be told that the kingdom was embracing a decentralized philosophy of spatial governance. This, naturally, was praised in foreign journals as innovative until the invoices arrived with no one quite sure where to deliver them. In the end, the sovereign once faded into retirement not as the founder of a new capital, but as the sculptor of debt-shaped castles in the air. His monuments now stand half-built amidst creeping vines, guarded not by soldiers, but by budget auditors and unpaid contractors. And the people, weary of legends written in fiscal red, whisper his name not with reverence, but with the same tone one uses for a magician who made their future disappear, one lavish illusion at a time.